Love. What a small word we use for an idea so immense and powerful. It has altered the flow of history, calmed monsters, kindled works of art, cheered the forlorn, turned tough guys to mush, consoled the enslaved, driven strong women mad, glorified the humble, fueled national scandals, bankrupted robber barons, and made mincemeat of kings. Love is an ancient delirium, a desire older than civilization, with taproots stretching deep into dark and mysterious days. The heart is a living museum. In each of its galleries, no matter how narrow or dimly lit, preserved forever like wondrous diatoms, are our moments of loving and being loved.
But can I welcome you on behalf of Mark and Zoe and their families to this special celebration. It's a day of joy, it's a day of happiness, apart from for some. Because for the last couple of months, as I've been telling people where I'm going today and to this occasion, there are many hearts breaking around the north coast of Northern Ireland at the minute. Many young men who have known Zoe for a long time, who today will know this blonde bombshell is getting married, who looks stunning and will be very, very jealous of a certain very tall man who probably could beat off and has beaten off most of that competition to get here. But it's a day for us of celebration, of joy, as we gather together to mark this beginning of their marriage together.
Thank you all so much for coming over, because it's really made this weekend special for a lot of us. And I've spoken to so many people that I really don't know, but you have been so friendly to me. But I have to stand up here and welcome Mark into our family, but I really have to apologise to him, because I can't remember how long ago it was now, but they had a little thing going in London when I was over, and a football match would go on an afternoon, and we would gather up with friends and families and have a little picnic at half time, etc. And there was this Sunday afternoon, it was a lovely sunny day, and the football game was going on. Came to half time, and I decided, I don't want this hassle of picnic at half time. I'm going to go up and sit on the park bench on my own and enjoy the quiet of the place. And when I looked up, Mark was coming, trudging up towards me. And I thought, he's coming up to tell me how to improve his game, but there's nothing I could do about it. So he come up and he started to talk to me, and without taking a breath, he turned around and he said, I want a private word with you. I noticed you sitting on your own. This is the best time I can ask you this. I've told Zoe I'm going to marry her. And then I nearly collapsed, of course. And I immediately said to him, are you sure about that, Mark? And Mark started to trudge down the hill again. I thought, what have I said? Little did I know he was going to go to Zoe and say, I don't think your dad was too happy. But Mark, not only am I happy, but Sylvia and I are both delighted. And I'm sure when you look at the rest of our children, our grandchildren, they're so delighted you have you and our family. Zoe's wanting me to turn around and say how wonderful she is. And I have to admit that when she came through school, she was terrific. When she went through university, she was terrific. When she was baptised. It was she now holds the record in Ballywoon being the most noisiest kid ever to be baptised. And she roared and squealed the whole ceremony. And the strange thing about it was our minister today, his father was taking that service that day. And thank you very much, Jonathan, for coming over and doing this. Tremendous. It really brought it all back to us. But anyway, as I said, Zoe was roaring and squealing, and Mr. Fraser, he eventually handed her back to Sylvia and me and said, he handed you to us gladly. So now Sylvia and I are handing you over to Mark gladly. But deep down, Mark, we know that you'll protect her and look after her and love her for the rest of your life. And thank you so much for taking her. Thank you.
We are shown and told so much about love in our society. We've heard it from Dean as he has read. We see it on our screens. We hear about it, who we can love. And this happens, and I know there's a Love Island kind of fanage going on at the front there, where we're told and see it on our screens. We hear about it. We try to find it ourselves in so many ways, in peoples and practices, in products. There's an old proverb that tells us, "Let love and faithfulness never leave you. Bind them around your neck. Write them on the tablet of your heart. Then you will win favour and a good name in the sight of God and man. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him and he will make your paths straight." For as much as Mark and Zoe have made their vows to each other by the joining of hands and exchanging of rings, and in the presence of us gathered today, I can now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss your bride.
It's a great honour and pleasure to be here, and I thank you all for coming and the effort that you've made to get here. It's really appreciated. It has made today very special. It's my duty to welcome Zoe into the family, into our family, and you are most welcome, Zoe. I had written out a little speech, but really I think so many of the things I was going to say are totally irrelevant. I was going to talk about the importance of kindness, but it's clear that these two people are so kind and so kind to each other that I don't need to say anything about that. I was going to say something about love, but Jonathan stole my thunder during the ceremony, and I suppose I should have expected that, because this is a very loving couple. And then I thought, I'd like to leave you with a quote, something, because there's more eloquent people than me. There's poets and literature. And the one I came up with is actually one word, and that is complete. I think Zoe makes Mark complete, and I like to think that Mark makes Zoe complete. Now, it's not original. If you watch films, you'll know where this came from. Jerry Maguire, you know, and the leading man. You complete me. The other famous quote from that film, and I don't know whether it was love at first sight, you had me at hello. So, Zoe, you're so welcome into the family, and it's been a pleasure today.
The love that Mark and Zoe have for one another, their desire to strengthen their grip on love and loyalty, and to live that life well so everyone can see it. That kind of love is patient and kind. It is not envious or boastful or arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way, is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rejoices in the truth. That kind of love will bear all things, believe all things. It will hope in all things and endure all things. That love will carry you both as you live your life together. Today, Heavenly Father, as we gather here, we give thanks for the gift of love, for the experience of love, for you as the one who gives us the longing for and capability of loving. We give you thanks for Mark and for Zoe, for their open hearts and willing spirits, and for the example of that love that they embody here in our presence. We give thanks for their families and friends who can be here today, and in our common witness, may we all be changed by what is said and witnessed here on this occasion. Amen.
On behalf of my wife and I, I'll say that again. On behalf of my wife and I'd like to thank you all for being here. I know a wedding the week before Christmas with no children in places as equally inaccessible for people from Northern Ireland, England, the rest of Scotland. I really appreciate the effort. As Chris has pointed out, I'm tall and Zoe's small. The first time I was down in London visiting her, we were walking through a park and a young child shouted at his dad, "Daddy, look at that really small girl with a really tall man." And we moved back up to Glasgow, and a rumour went around my work that I had a child bride. That I was apparently I was dating an 18-year-old because I'd been seen holding hands with a really small blonde girl. But the worst one, where how pretty Zoe is and how I am, came to fore was when we went for a few drinks and dinner after work in London one night, and we were having our second or third drink in a bar, and I went up, and while I was at the bar ordering drinks, this couple, boy and a girl, came up to Zoe and said, "Do you need rescued from your date?" 4 years into us going out, so...
God, like that.
So there's some... I've learned, and I'm learning, that there's some double standards in a relationship. Zoe gets very upset when I put ketchup on the roast dinner she's cooked. But I say nothing when she puts salad on the food I've cooked. No, Zoe, thank you very much. You moved to Glasgow. I'll be forever grateful. You left your family and your friends, and you came up to live with me, so thank you so much. When Zoe moved to Scotland, she took a job as a performance dancer in the cancer department, where she went around finding out why they weren't meeting their targets and pointing it out. After 6 weeks, they said to her, "Do you just want to take over?" It's true. So she now gets to boss around 52 middle-aged doctors and come home and not do that. But she does love coming home every night, and I love it when she comes home every night and tells me all the funny things she said.
I, Mark,
I, Mark,
take you, Zoe,
take you, Zoe,
to be my wife,
to be my wife,
and in the presence
and in the presence
of our friends and family,
of our friends and family,
I promise to be to you
I promise to be to you
a loving,
a loving,
faithful,
faithful,
and loyal husband
and loyal husband.
from this day forward,
From this day forward,
for better, for worse,
for better, for worse,
for richer, for poorer,
for richer, for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish,
to love and to cherish,
till death us do part.
till death us do part.
I, Zoe,
I, Zoe,
take you, Mark,
take you, Mark,
to be my husband,
to be my husband,
and in the presence
and in the presence
of our friends and family,
of our friends and family,
I promise to be to
I
you
promise to be to you
a loving,
a loving,
faithful,
faithful,
and loyal wife,
and loyal wife.
from this day forward,
From this day forward,
for better, for worse,
better for worse,
for richer, for poorer,
for richer, for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish,
to love and to cherish,
till death us do part.
to death